Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane, a high-octane journey back to the 90s and 2000s. This was an era of wild experimentation, a time before every car started to look the same. We're talking about the unsung heroes, the forgotten legends, the cars that were incredibly cool but somehow slipped from our collective memory. So buckle up, because we're counting down the 10 coolest cars you totally forgot existed. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Isuzu VT Cross. Just look at this thing. Released in the late 90s, it looked like a concept car that escaped from an auto show and made it to the streets. With its unpainted plastic cladding, aggressive stance, and futuristic design, it was part SUV, part Moon Rover. It wasn't just about looks, either. The VT Cross had a sophisticated Torque-on-Demand four-wheel drive system that made it surprisingly capable off. It was weird, it was wonderful, and it was way ahead of its time. You just don't see boldness like this anymore. Coming in at number 9. We have the Mitsubishi 3000G TVR24. Now, you might remember the 300 OGT, but do you remember how ridiculously advanced the VR24 version was? We're talking a twin-turbo V6, all-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, and active aerodynamics with a front and rear spoiler that adjusted automatically based on your speed. In the early 90s, this was pure science fiction. It was a Japanese supercar packed with more tech than a space shuttle, ready to take on Porsches and Ferraris. It was heavy, it was complex. But man, was it cool? A true technological marvel. At number 8, let's talk about a sleeper, the Saab 922X Aero. Nicknamed the Subaru, this car was a fascinating piece of badge engineering. In the mid-2000s, General Motors owned a stake in both Saab and Subaru's parent company, Fuji Heavy Industries. The result? They took a Subaru Impreza WRX wagon, gave it a Saab front end, a more refined interior, and improved suspension. What you got was the heart and soul of a rally-bred, turbocharged, all-wheel drive monster, all wrapped in a sleek, sophisticated Swedish package. It was the perfect blend of performance and practicality, but it only lasted for 2 model years, making it a rare and forgotten gem. Next up at number 7 is the Volkswagen Phaeton. This was VW's ambitious attempt to take on Mercedes-Benz and BMW at their own game. The Phaeton was a passion project, a no-expense-spared luxury sedan. It was hand-built in a special glass factory in Dresden and shared its platform with the Bentley Continental G. You could even get it with a monstrous W12 engine. The level of engineering was insane. The climate control system was designed to be draft-free, and the build quality was impeccable. It was an amazing car, but nobody wanted to pay Mercedes S-Class money for a Volkswagen, so it faded into obscurity. Cruising into the number 6 spot is the Ford SVT Contour. In the 90s, nobody looked at a Ford Contour and thought performance car. But Ford's special vehicle team, the same folks behind the Mustang Cobra, worked their magic. They took the European-derived chassis, dropped in a high-revving 2.5-liter V6, tuned the suspension, upgraded the brakes, and gave it a more aggressive look. The result was a front-wheel drive sedan that handled like a dream. It was praised by every car magazine at the time as one of the best-handling sports sedans you could buy. A true driver's car hidden in a humble package. We're halfway through our list, and at number 5, we have the epic GMC Cyclone. Imagine this, it's 1991, and a pickup truck rolls off the assembly line that can out-accelerate a Ferrari 348. That was the Cyclone GMC, took a humble Sonoma pickup, stuffed a turbocharged V6 under the hood, and paired it with an all-wheel drive system. The result was pure, unadulterated madness. It did 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, which is quick even by today's standards. It was only available in black. It was completely useless as an actual truck, and it was one of the most wonderfully absurd vehicles ever made. At number 4, we have a car that deserves so much more love. The Pontiac G8 GXP. In the late 2000s, Pontiac imported this beast from Holden, GM's Australian division. The G8 was a proper rear-wheel drive V8-powered sports sedan. The top dog GXP model packed a 6.2-liter LS3 V8 straight from the Corvette, and you could even get it with a 6-speed manual transmission. This was America's answer to the BMW M5, offering incredible performance for a fraction of the price. Sadly, it arrived just as the 2008 financial crisis hit, and soon after, GM shut down the entire Pontiac brand. A true modern muscle sedan, gone too soon. Entering our top 3 is a masterpiece of design. The Aston Martin DB7. You might remember the DB9 or the Vanquish, but the DB7 is the car that truly saved Aston Martin in the 90s. Designed by the legendary Ian Callum, its gorgeous, flowing lines set the design language for Aston Martin for the next 2 decades. Underneath, it had some Ford-era parts been sharing, but that didn't matter when it looked and sounded this good. It started with a supercharged inline 6, and later got a glorious V12. It was elegant, powerful, and absolutely beautiful, a future classic that often gets overlooked. The runner-up, at number 2, is the Lotus Carlton, also known as the Opel Lotus Omega. This was a super sedan before super sedans were really a thing. In the early 90s, Lotus took a standard family sedan, the Vauxhall Carlton, and turned it into a monster. They bored out the engine, added 2 turbochargers, and reworked the chassis and brakes. The result was a 4-door sedan that could hit 177 miles per hour. It was so fast, it caused a controversy in the British government. It was a wolf in sheep's clothing, a discreet-looking family car that could demolish supercars on the highway. An absolute legend. And finally, the number 1 coolest car you totally forgot existed is the Renault Clio V6. This is one of the most insane hot hatches ever conceived. Renault took their tiny, front-wheel drive Clio, threw out the back seats, and shoehorned a 3.0-liter V6 engine right behind the driver. Yes, it was a mid-engined, rear-wheel drive city car. It was wide, incredibly aggressive-looking, and notoriously tricky to drive fast. It made no practical sense whatsoever. It was a homologation special, a road-going race car created out of pure passion and a touch of madness. It's the kind of project you'd never see a major car company greenlight today, and for that reason, it stands as a forgotten icon of automotive creativity. So there you have it, 10 amazing cars from a wilder, more daring time in automotive history. How many of these did you remember? Which forgotten gem did we miss? Let me know down in the comments below. I love reading what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.